This is a video that I've been meaning to do for quite some time now, but I've just kind of been like scared to make it, and I never really watched anyone else's videos about this because I just can't watch videos like that, so I don't really know like how people usually do this, but I'm just going to share my story. Hey everyone, so today is going to be a different kind of video. I am going to share my story about social anxiety and depression, just kind of to get it out there so you guys could know a little bit more about me, and so maybe this might help someone or make someone feel like not alone or something. But I wrote down some notes in my notebook, so I'm just going to be looking at that and going from there. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started with what I have been like diagnosed with, or like what I have. I had to switch cameras because my battery was dying and I don't know where my backup batteries for this camera are, so I switched to my vlogging camera. So if like the quality changed, that's why. But I was saying I'm going to start off with what I have, or like what I've been diagnosed with. So the first thing is I have an extreme case of social anxiety disorder, and I'll get into like what everything is in a minute. I have depression, OCD a little bit, agoraphobia, claustrophobia, and generalized anxiety disorder. And the first thing that I want to just get out of the way is, I know people are probably wondering if I like have like social anxiety, like how do I make YouTube videos? And I can make YouTube videos because when I first started out I was like really nervous about it, but then I thought about it, it's like I'm not actually like talking to anyone, like I'm just like talking to myself, and then I upload it and people see it, so it's not like I'm actually talking to anyone. That's kind of how I had to say it to myself to make it to where I was able to do it. I'm going to start with the social anxiety and kind of talk about that because that's the one that kind of like consumes my life the most and makes it difficult for me to do like pretty much anything. Yeah, so I think it started when I got to like first grade. For some reason I just kind of like stopped talking to people. Like before that, like my mom would tell me, because I don't remember, but my mom would tell me that I was like really like social when I was like really little. Like I would even like go up to kids and I would like hug them. So I mean, I don't know what happened, but I got to first grade, I just kind of stopped talking and like communicating with people, and that was that. And then my mom just thought I was like shy, and she just thought, oh, she's shy, you know, she'll grow out of it. But you know, as I got older, I didn't grow out of it, and it got worse, and I just was not able to like communicate with people. And when I say I'm not able to communicate, the only way I can think to explain it is like if someone asks me a question, I can answer them, but I can't like initiate a conversation with someone. Like I'm not just gonna go up to someone and like ask them a question or start talking to them, or like if I'm in a grocery store or whatever kind of store and I'm like looking for something, I will walk around the store like 10 times trying to find it myself before I go to ask someone, and most of the time I don't end up asking for whatever it is I want, unless it's something that I like really need, then I'll do it. But yeah, the best way I can think to explain it is I want to be able to talk to people, but it just, the words just don't come out. Like it's like I lost my voice or something when I'm trying to like say something to someone. If you've seen The Little Mermaid, you know, when Ursula takes her voice away and like she like can't talk, like that's how I feel. Like I can't get the words out, and people don't really seem to understand that. Like most people I know don't understand that I can't talk. They're just like, just do it, and that kind of really bothers me because I feel so bad that I'm not able to do it, but they just tell me like, oh, you can just do it, you have to try harder or something, and it's like, it's not about that. I mean, I want to do it, it's just something like in my brain that just like stops me from doing it. And that goes along with me being like social, like going out places. Like if you notice, like in my daily vlogs, like I don't really go out much. I stay home most of the time. I just really don't go out because I'm afraid of social interaction, and so I usually just, you know, stay home. The only people that I'm really able to like talk to normally are like my like immediate family, the ones that I see like all the time or the most, and like my really good friends like Sarah and her husband Angelo, because like I see them and I'm comfortable with them. If I'm comfortable with you, then I'll be able to like talk, but other than that I can't really get things out, and kind of like just really bothers me when people tell me that I just like should try harder or I need to just do it. I am able to order food by myself, even though it's still hard, but the only reason I'm able to do that is because my mom kind of like made me start doing that quite some time ago, because you know, she thought, you know, I should like try to do it myself, and so like, you know, I have to like eat out sometimes so I can like order my food, but other than that I don't really do it. And then making phone calls, I say all the time in my daily vlogs that I have to make a phone call, and I really don't want to do it because it's like so hard to talk to someone that I don't know, even on the phone. Sometimes I'll like ask my mom if she can do it for me. Most of the time now she won't, which I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but every now and then she will. But yeah, that's pretty much that. If I can think of anything else to say about the anxiety, then I will later. I know this video is probably going to be kind of long, so I kind of apologize, but I just really want to get this out. It's kind of like a way of like telling my story, and also kind of like, I guess, venting a little bit. It's like no one's gonna like disagree with me right now or anything, so it's just kind of a way for me to like get this out. The next thing that I guess I'll cover is my depression, which has kind of been bad lately. I think my depression kind of like stems from the social anxiety, like me not being able to be social and go out and like function like a normal person, and I just feel like really bad about myself. I don't have like a lot of confidence, and yeah, so I get really like depressed a lot, and I just kind of like don't really have like the motivation or energy to like do anything really. I do take medicine for my anxiety and the depression. Unfortunately, I have to be on medicine. Like, if I don't take my medicine, then I will like not want to get out of bed like at all, or I don't want to leave the house. Like, I'm like terrified to like leave the house, more so than when I'm like on it. So yeah, that's not good. So unfortunately, I have to like be on medication right now because it just keeps me, you know, somewhat normal, I guess. I can't really think about anything else to say about that. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is my OCD. I have OCD. I don't have like a really severe case of it, but I do have it, and it can be pretty annoying if you've seen people with it or you know what it is. Then yeah, it can be pretty annoying. And some of the things that I do are, for one, if like I have something in like a certain spot and someone like moves it, it drives me crazy. The thing that is like the most prominent, I guess, is that if I touch something with one hand, or something touches me on like one arm or my leg or something, then like I have to do it to the other side because I just feel like uneven and it drives me crazy. So especially like if I'm like out somewhere and I pick up something with one hand, then like I have to do it with the other hand, but I try to do it like on the under so no one really notices what I'm doing. I don't like germs. I guess you can call me a germaphobe or something, because I always have hand sanitizer with me. Like, I have a bottle of hand sanitizer by my desk, and I have a bottle of hand sanitizer by my bed, and then I have hand sanitizer on my purse. And yeah, so I use a lot of hand sanitizer and wash my hands a lot because I don't like germs. And I like everything to be like neat and perfect and in its spot, but right now my room is a complete mess because I just haven't been in the mood to clean it, and so it is kind of driving me crazy that my room is really messy right now. But you know, it's kind of just goes back and forth. It's hard to explain, but it's just, the room is really messy right now and it's driving me crazy, but I just haven't had the motivation to do it. And I have agoraphobia, which is fear of crowds or being around people. And I just, if I'm like in a crowded place, I'm just so uncomfortable, and I can't stand it. Like, I can't deal with it, so I try to avoid that at all costs. Like, if I go to the mall or something, I try to go during a week when there's not like a lot of people. If I go to like an amusement park, I try to go when there's not a lot of people. Disneyland is kind of different, because Disneyland is like always crowded, but you know, I try my best to stay away from the crowds, and if I am like in a crowd for some reason, I can deal with it, I guess, because Disneyland is like life to me. So I don't know, but any other situation, I try to stay away from crowds and people. And I don't really like when people just start talking to me because I don't want to have to answer them. Like, I know that probably sounds really bad, but it goes with the social anxiety thing. I don't do well with people that I don't know. I do have panic attacks, but it's kind of weird how they work. Like, I get all the like normal symptoms, like my heart races, my throat feels tight, like my chest is tight, I feel like really panicky and everything. But I guess it goes back to me not wanting to draw any attention to myself. Like I don't, like, unless you really know me, you're not gonna know that I'm having a panic attack, because I don't really show it on the outside, because I guess because I'm like so afraid of drawing attention to myself, that I just don't show it outside. I think Sarah can tell. Like, we were at Disneyland, I was like watching the fireworks, I was like freaking out, she could tell. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that panic attack thing in there because I forgot to mention that. And then moving on to my other phobia that I have. Sarah's texting me. Don't even remember what I was saying, but my last phobia, I have other ones, but just like normal ones, like I'm afraid of spiders and like bugs and stuff, but that's normal, I guess. Claustrophobia, which is a fear of small spaces. So I don't like being in elevators because that's a small space, and I'm always afraid that it's gonna get stuck, and then I'm probably gonna like freak out because I'm stuck in this small space. And like I wouldn't go in my closet and like close the door because that's a really small space. I don't even like closing like my bedroom door, because I feel, even though my room is kind of big, I just feel like closed in if I close it. So the only time I close my bedroom door is if I'm filming a video like I am now, or if I have like a friend over, or I'm like making like a phone call or something. That's the only time I close my door. Any other time it's open, I guess, or unless I need like privacy for something, obviously, but any other time my door is like always open because I feel like closed in. So yeah, that's that. And then the generalized anxiety pretty much just sums up having anxiety about like a bunch of random things. Like I get anxious over like pretty much anything. Like anytime I have to like make a phone call, or anytime I have to leave the house, or anytime I have to like drive somewhere. Driving makes me anxious. I'm gonna get into that. Just a lot of things make me so anxious. Driving is a big thing for me. I don't really like enjoy driving like at all. I get super anxious every time I have to drive somewhere, because I always feel like I always have these thoughts that, like, you know, something like is gonna happen, and I get really nervous about something happening. And yeah, if I have to drive somewhere that's like out of my comfort zone, I get really anxious. And like there's like some places that I really like don't want to drive to. Like San Francisco is like a big one. Like I kind of like refuse to drive to San Francisco, because if you've ever been there, then you know that the streets and everything is like really congested, and there's always like one-way streets and everything, and that makes me like really anxious. And there's like other places around like where I live where I'm not really comfortable driving to. So if I have to drive to one of those places, I freak out like a lot. And yeah, it's not fun at all. I think going back to my social anxiety, I have to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. I used to have a best friend that we were friends for, I think it was 8 years, and you know, she was like the best. We were friends from I think like 5th or 6th grade up until college, actually. A college class that we took together, and like we were like inseparable. Like we knew like everything about each other. We spent a bunch of time together. Like I would always spend the night at her house, she would come to my house. Like we were like everything. We could finish each other's sentences. Like it was that crazy. So she was kind of like my comfort. Like I was able to, like, we went out a lot and we like did things, so I had like a social life at that point because like I had her to be with me. And if I'm with someone, I feel like more comfortable going out. So yeah. But in college I took a medical assisting course, and we were friends then still, but one day she just decided to cut me off. Like, that's how it happened. She just cut me off. She stopped talking to me. She was hanging out with this other girl, and she just basically acted like I didn't exist. And you know, that kind of really crushed me. I think that's when like my anxiety got worse, my depression I think kind of like got worse and like kicked in more then. And my teacher actually recommended that I go see a therapist, because I go to therapy now. So I've been going to therapy for like what, almost 10 years. But he suggested I go see someone because he could tell that I was like really like depressed and like anxious and everything. And like I was, because my best friend that I had been friends with for like so long just cut me out of her life, and I didn't know what to do. And like now I have like major trust issues, because I mean, if you can't trust someone that you've been friends with for that long, then like how are you supposed to like trust like anyone? So yeah, that was hard, and I'm still like thinking about that. Like it's still really hard sometimes, because it makes it hard for me to like trust anyone, because I mean, people like say things like, even when I'm like dating someone, like I don't trust that person fully, because I mean, how are you supposed to know that? Like it's just hard. But I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I want to talk about why I don't have a job. Well, like a job, like a 9-to-5 job like most people do. The reason for that is I don't have good communication skills. Like I can't have like a job that is like really like social with other people, because I wouldn't be able to like communicate with them. So like most jobs are like that. Like it's really hard. I've been looking for a job that I could do that doesn't involve me like talking to people really, but I haven't been able to find one. And the ones that I did find, I didn't get. Like I've applied like multiple times and I like never get them. So yeah, that's why I'm not working, because I can't communicate with people. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope I didn't forget anything, and I hope maybe you guys learned a little bit more about me. This wasn't an easy video for me to make, because I'm not like really that open about this kind of stuff, but I just wanted to get my story out there. And if any of you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them below or message me, and I will get back to you. So yeah, I will talk to you all later. Bye. What is your favorite Disney animated film?
Oh god, that's too hard.
I know.
I don't have like all-time favorites. I have current favorites, and I think my current favorites right now